ora guys, thanks for coming and welcome to, I guess, our first little webisode, if you will.
Pretty much here to represent and hold space for Rangatahi today. Also just to dive into the kōrero and unpack things and learn, I guess, more stuff about myself and what's happening with our future leaders. Yeah.
Because you're probably doing it better than we are, so that's why we want to talk to you, so we can learn from you. Have you had your own personal journey with like any sort of thing with mental health, Christine?
Oh yeah. So I get really anxious quite easily and I get really stressed easily.
Yeah.
So I think it's always just about finding your little own like support group.
Yeah.
Just like finding the right people to support you is just really crucial for me anyways, and it works for me.
What about you, Matthew?
When it came to like exam season, like high school, even when you're going to uni, be pretty stressful, and sometimes you have like negative outlets, coping mechanisms, so you might overeat, which is something I deal with. People don't like to talk about it, but if we talk about it more often, we'll be able to help and affect change.
It's hard knowing that you've got to work on yourself.
The thing I live by at the moment is something a good friend said to me. She said that if I can't take it day by day, take it like minute per minute, just so you don't overthink everything and just go with the flow.
I like that, like baby steps, just like finding something that's a little bit more
Don't have to
palatable.
do everything all at once, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think's your strength when it comes to this stuff?
Addressing the problem, but like facing it like head first as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I acknowledge that I'm going through something, but also I see to it that I actually figure out how to get out of that zone.
What about you, Matthew? What's your inner strength?
Being able to find the light even in the darkest situation. I mean, it's gotten me through a lot of tough problems. I feed off people's energy, so if I'm around like a good vibe, if I'm having a good time, then that makes me feel good about myself.
What about you, Charlie?
Last year, I was in quite a bad spot because I had just lost my granddad, and then I got a text from my friend saying that one of my classmates who I had spent a lot of time with in Year 9 had passed away during the summer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
So it was like, the way I coped with that then, I just spent every day in bed and stuff. But during this lockdown, I had another classmate pass away, and it was just like completely different. I had just changed, and I'd go for walks every day. I'd make sure I'd eat. I'd make sure I go see friends, well, the people I was in the bubble with at the time, because just surrounding yourself with happy people helps a lot.
And you spoke about like earlier when we were just talking about like, oh, strengths, like what are my strengths? And that just highlights resilience, like to a T, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very resilient, which is the work that we kind of were talking about, is like, you can be in this space, but I think the cool thing about us as human beings is we have a choice. And we can either choose to stay in bed, or we can actually choose to do something about it. Because there's lots of power in knowing that, like, I'm a resilient person. I'm actually really good at supporting people, or do you know those types of things?
Like, what do you do for self-care?
Probably tennis over summer.
Yeah?
It's just most days down at the tennis courts if there's stuff going on.
Yeah. And do you have like a mate or anything that does it with you? Or?
Yeah, I usually do it with my mum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to get better than her.
What's self-care look like for you? Yeah.
Yeah, just taking after myself. Even just the small things like taking a shower, maybe even tidy up my study space. That just makes my brain really happy. If I see no clutter and then I'm good to go, stress is a bit relieved. Just being really empathetic towards myself helps me be more empathetic towards my friends as well.
Self-care would be hanging out with friends. I spend a lot of time, I'm really close to my sister, so shout out to her. Usually go get food, go eat out. I take a lot of time just meditating, doing exercise. Exercise helped me a lot too, just to clear my mind so I can focus. Just spending time talking, especially with my parents as well. I'm really close to mum and dad. So just being able to talk to them. And this goes back to like having people you can confide in. Because it's important to not bottle things up, because then you'll just explode and it becomes this big catastrophe. So having people you can talk to. Having people around me has always helped me get out of my situations. Positive people too, not people who are trying to like dampen your situation, but who actually lift your spirits. Those type of people are good to have around you. So